Hi, it's Anne here, and today's video is my 6th update for my project pan for 2022. I am doing this in the Team Project Pan style, so just like Kat and Haley, I have a full range of products, but I have been focusing it on mostly makeup items, and this is a full year rolling project. My focus has been on like bigger items that intentionally I know will take a long time. This past month did not go as planned. I thought it'd be exciting. I thought I'd have a lot of empties. There were some things I definitely thought were going to be finished that were not. But that's okay. That's how it goes sometimes. So let's just get started. So the first item I want to talk about is in this container, but it's not the Urban Decay All Nighter. It's actually this little guy, which is the Bella Pierre Cosmetics HD Setting Spray. I showed in my last video, the sprayer on this was like, it was that shot in the face. It's a little intense. So I actually depotted it into this. Interestingly enough, this product in here is still a little intense on the spray. It must be a heavier type product. I don't know science and things very well. Ironically, I did really good in like technology, but when it came to like biology, that's where I started like not doing so great. And chemistry was actually the worst part. Biology not too bad, but chemistry I really sucked at. So I'm guessing like the molecules are heavier compared to what the Urban Decay All Nighter is. So the spray is, and I mean, I've been depotting stuff into this. This will be the third thing I've depotted into this. So yeah, that could be affecting it as well. And I'm also not too bright. I forgot to weigh this when I transferred the other stuff into here. So I don't know where the starting weight was, but the current weight right now is 48.24. Oh, I can totally do some mathy maths. I'm going to see if I can try and do some math because I did weigh this when it was full. I know the weight of this now. I know the weight of this when it was empty, I think. I'm going to see if I can do some math and figure out potentially. I was not bad at math. I'm actually pretty good at math. Not going to lie. I like math. I like numbers. Anyway, so I think I might be able to figure out what I have left. I'm like so close to being done. One of the reasons why I wasn't really thinking about the weights either was this was an item I thought was going to be done. I thought I was going to be through this. You can still hear there's probably about a week left on this. And then I'll figure out what spray. I'm pretty sure I know what spray I'm going to use next after this. But yeah, so I was kind of a little disappointed that I didn't finish this, but it's fine. It will just roll into July. The next item in my list is my primer, and the primer I'm working on is the Touch in Sol No Problem. I did so well last time. I always mess this one up. No Problem Primer. This one's kind of flying through a lot faster than what I thought. It is a little unbalanced, so where my line is and where the product is like a because you can see it's further down on the one side than the other. But I predict 2 to 3 months this will be done. I feel like I am going through it fairly quickly. I'm not exclusively using this. I have been pulling out some other primers to use. I don't mind this. This is sort of like a hybrid of like a smoothing yet sort of moisturizing type primer, which I think is my preference. I do like the Benefit Professional, but that one is a bit dry, whereas this is sort of like that, but with a bit more hydraty, but it's not nearly as silicone-y as like the Smashbox ones. I don't like the Smashbox one. It's too silicone-y. This one is maybe a hint, a little like that, but not bad. I mean, it's not super pore filling or like pore blurring compared to some other ones, but it's pretty good. It's a nice in-between one. I would definitely repurchase this. I see this pop up every once in a while at like Winners and Marshalls, so whenever this is empty I will repurchase it if I catch it at Winners or Marshalls. Next up is a foundation I'm working on. This is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear in the shade 435 something ivory. Rose Ivory I think is the shade name. I can't see the shade name anywhere on here. Sorry, Rose Vanilla is this shade. And I was able to draw a new line on it. I forgot to give the weights. Wait! Got stuck with the weights. I laugh when I say weight because I have to tell Harley weight. That's one of his tricks he knows, weight. So this was 91.71 grams. It's now 85.29 grams. So that's a difference of 6.42 grams. Back to this guy. This is the L'Oreal foundation. I already said what it is. I was able to draw a new line on it. I'm not using this one quite as much as the other one, yet weight-wise, this one has moved a bit more. I just find this one is it's a little too matte for my preference on its own. I did my L'Oreal foundation testing last year, and this one like ranked in the middle. The one I like the best is the Pro Glow one, then this one, then the regular one. Yeah, I just find this ends up showing too much texture on my skin because it's a bit more matte. It is fairly long wearing and it's got good coverage. I just feel like pros and cons, I don't want to see that much texture in my skin. So I have been mixing this with I've actually been using the NYX, I've got the foundation mixer in white because this has been a little too dark. I've been starting to do self-tanning, so it's matching me now, but at first it was a little dark. And then, yeah, mixing it with, I'm using the Say highlighting glowy highlighter thingy. I've been mixing that with both my foundations, but I've been mixing that with this to sort of give it a bit more zhuzh instead of being just matte. So it's been helping, but yeah, I am going through this one a bit slow. I said that when I introduced this one I plan on using throughout the rest of the year, so I don't mind if it goes a little slow right now. And I think, like, based on that usage, feels pretty much on target for finishing this by the end of the year. So when I introduced this last month, it was 93.22 grams. It's now 89.12 grams. That's a difference of 4.1 grams. As I said in my last video, I went against my own rules and threw in another foundation because I really want to use this one. It's one of the oldest foundations I have, and I haven't really used it a whole lot. I feel like I'm now getting through it pretty good, but I don't use this. Like, I use this a lot less of the product compared to like this, because this is more sheer, and I just want like it's a tinted moisturizer. What is it? I didn't even tell you what it is. It is the Laura Mercier tinted moisturizer, and this is in the shade Sand. I think this is the old version, I think. I'm not 100% sure. I know there was an old version and now there's a new version. I think this is the old version. Could be wrong on that. Again, a hair too dark. It's working for me now, but it was a bit too dark, so I was mixing in the NYX thing and the Say thing. I actually kind of mix all three together and apply it that way, and I really like the way that looks. I'm actually using this one, like gravitating towards using this one over this one right now, which was the intention. I kind of wanted to focus on this for like June, July, August, September, like over the summer type months. And then I don't think I'll finish this. I mean, if I do, that's awesome, but I'm not expecting myself to finish this. I want to get more use out of it. And then at some point, like probably next year, I will finish it. But yeah, I'm enjoying this. I really like this product. Again, probably would have been better to have a shade that suits me a little better, but it's going to work for the summer, so that's fine. So when I introduced this, it was 33.69 grams. It's now 31.42 grams. That's a difference of 2.27 grams. Next is the concealer that I am working on. This is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser. This is in the light shade. I'm getting pretty close to finishing this, which is going to be a bit problematic because I wanted to put this in with my concealer testing. Sorry, camera does not want to focus on it. Focus, there we go. You can see I'm really, really close to the bottom. I'm hoping I have had enough footage to include this in my concealer testing. I did talk about, though, that I think I want to purchase the brightening version of this. I have cool undertones, and I think the brightening version was the one I liked better. But this is, I think, the old formula as well, and I know there's new packaging, and I'm pretty sure I heard somewhere that the formula was a bit different, so I'm not sure. I don't know. Anyway, I really like this product, so it's kind of like, bittersweet that I'm finishing it right now, but I will repurchase this again in the future. Last month this was 21.81 grams. It's now 21.23 grams. That's a difference of 0.58 grams. My next item is my face powder, and it is a predictable empty. Yay, empty! And if you've been watching my buys and buys, which I had to make 2 videos of because it was so long, you saw the empties part, you would have seen this in the empties. I already put it in the empties. I'm like, there's no point waiting, just throw it in the empties. This is finished. Talked about it in that video. Like this product, would repurchase. Why is it funny packaging? This was like, I think, a display thing. I got it from a friend. I went through 2 of these. I would definitely consider repurchasing this. I like this shade. It's neutral fair. I'm surprised it's a fair shade because it's not very fair. Like when I compare it to like all of my other powders, it wasn't that light. At least when something's called fair, it's generally lighter than light, but I didn't feel like this was super light. I could be wrong, but yeah, I liked this again, I said that in that video. I said this in that video, words, that I feel like this is a good powder for like drier skin or mature skin. If you're not a powder kind of person, this is a nice product. It's nice to wear, like you can even use it as like, I think it is technically a foundation or a setting powder. It kind of works for both. And I would say it was fairly comparable to like the Fenty powder, the Fenty foundation powder, which I have as well. So last month that was 43.62 grams. It's finishing at 42.15 grams. So that's a difference of 1.47 grams. In total, that powder was in, I think since the beginning, and it was, in total I used 7.61 grams. And it was fairly full-ish when I introduced it. So I am going to introduce another face powder, but I'll talk about that at the end. Next up is my bronzer, and this is the Nude Sticks Nudies Matte All Over Bronze color. This is going super slow, and I've resigned myself to that fact, like last month, the month before, basically when I started using it. I'll throw up the picture to show the difference. Like it's moving, but it's barely moving. And I have been struggling to use this. I think now that it's getting to the warmer months and I have a bit more of a tan, it is working for me. However, I'm not gonna lie, I'm sick of it. It's a very particular color. I'll just swatch it so you can see. It's a very particular bronzer color. It's a very red bronzer, which I do like that, but not every day. Like it's not something I really, really want every day. So what I've been doing is mixing it. So I'll put this on, like I'll do foundation, I'll put this on, and then I'll put powder on, and that sort of like tones it down a little, and then I'll put, I've been using the Buxom bronzer over top, or another alternative that I've been doing is, because I really want to use it, is the Tower 28 bronzer. So I'll just sort of use both together. I'll put a bit of this on, and then I'll take the Tower 28 on my brush and then blend the two together. I forget which shade I have in the Tower 28, but it's more of like a golden bronze color. So it's kind of nice to mix them together. I get a nice bronze like in between color. I'm going to use this over the summer months, but I think I might pull this out of the project probably in September. Like I'll try and use this July, August, and then I think I might switch over to the Tower 28 one just because it's a cream product, so I want to use it. And I have heard from people that they've gone bad on them. Like, I mean, they are, I think, like a clean makeup product, so they're going to go bad a little bit sooner than some other products. But yeah, like, I mean, the product is fine. You can, I've talked about this, you can blend this out to nothing if you're not careful. But it is pretty pigmented. So if you apply it, you know, a good amount and blend, it does look nice. I don't have it on, well, I do have it on sort of, but I put bronzer on top of it. So you can't really see it all that well. But yeah. I'm a little disappointed because I kind of wanted to have a bronzer finished this year, like this one, other than my Franken bronzer. I don't think I'm going to have a bronzer finished this year. Everything else that I have is pretty full, like pretty new. I do have two sort of minis, but they're also like full, so I doubt, even if I threw them in the project now, I don't think I would finish them by the end of the year, even the minis. Maybe potentially, but I don't want to use those. I don't want to finish those. I want to use some of the bigger products. So I'm just going to be resigned to, I don't think there's going to be a bronzer that is finished for me this year other than the Franken bronzer that I already finished. So last month this was 29.71 grams. It's now 29.48 grams. That's a difference of 0.25 grams. Next up is the blush that I'm working on. It is not a CoverGirl blush. It's an Annabelle blush that I have repressed into this compact. I love this compact. I'm going to keep it and use it for repressing because it's perfect. It's a great size, and I like that like it closes. Hopefully, knock on wood, now that I say this, I hope I don't break the plastic, like the clip. And then I'll have to say goodbye to this. But anyway, this is the blush I'm working on. I can't remember who said this last month, but you were so right. I'm glad I didn't bet you. You were so right. So I talked about before that like the weights on this was, after I repressed it, was not changing, and I was feeling a little down about that. It's now moving. We got progress, guys. So last month this was 58.65 grams. It's now 58.46 grams. That's a difference of 0.19 grams. Which last month, there was nothing, like no movement at all. So we're back on track. Things are moving. I don't think the picture will really show a whole lot of difference, but I can see it's getting really thin, and I can see the ring in the middle. This is still going to take a long time. This is actually a pretty pigmented blush now that I think about it. It's a pretty, like, out of all the blushes I have, it is a pretty distinct color too. So I want to say I'm surprised that I picked it as a item to pan, but at the same time it's a really old blush, so that's why I picked it. But in terms of ease of use, it's pretty distinct, so it is a bit of a difficult blush to work for that reason. But I do enjoy the color. I will miss it because I do like the color. It is a bit of a unique blush for me because it's got that, like, it's a deeper pink, but it's got a bit of like satin shimmer to it too. It's not just a matte blush, so yeah. Enjoyable. I mean, I can't repurchase it. It's gone. It's so old, they don't make it anymore. The highlight that I'm working on is this Milk Makeup Highlighter in Lit. It's moving along. I think this is moving along quite well. I was a bit concerned at the beginning, but not concerned anymore. I do forget to use it sometimes though, so I am going a little slower than I should be. I am trying to, like the other day I put this like on my neck and on my shoulders, so I am trying to pick up my pace over the summer because I think that's the ideal time to make some big moves on this guy, because I do want to finish this by the end of the year, and it is totally achievable as long as I don't forget to use it. So last month this was 18.04 grams. It's now 17.72 grams. That's a difference of 0.32 grams. This product is really interesting. This is my brow product. This is the ABH Dip Brow Pomade in Taupe. It's moving. I'm like close to being done. The one part in the middle, I've sort of worn out the middle and it's sort of pushed to the side. It's just really hard to figure out like when this will be done because the product I talked about it's sort of malleable and it kind of moves around. But it's so close. It's getting there. I just don't want to predict when it will be done. Because I have no idea. I have no idea how long this last little bit will take. It would be nice if I finished this though before the end of the year. Like I would like to finish it before the end of the year and start working on another product. I'm not gonna buy a pomade anytime soon. I talked about this and you guys gave me some advice in terms of some drugstore type alternatives or like cheaper alternatives. I've discovered, I've been trying all these brow gels like in hopes that they will work with my shitty brows and they don't. However, I forget where I saw this. It was somebody on Instagram and they were doing their eyebrows, but they used like the NYX Stick It, whatever, but they used their brow brush, like the angled brush, and that's what I use with the pomade. I was like, oh, never thought about that before. So I've been doing that on and off. I've been using like the NYX one. I think I've tried it with the ABH one as well. I have like the ABH Dip Brow Gel, but primarily the NYX one. I will use the brow brush at the front of my brow, and then I will take the like angled brush and then like do the smaller part of my brow where I really have no hair, where nothing is sticking to it, so I need to like actually lay it down with a brush, and it's working really well. I was like, oh, now I have found a way to use all those brow gels and actually use them instead of just like kind of quasi using them in hopes like with other products. I can actually use it like on its own. So super excited about finding that little trick out. So last month this was 44.8 grams. It's now 44.63 grams. That's a difference of 0.17 grams. The eyeliner that I'm working on is the Marc Jacobs Highliner Gel Eyeliner in Blacker. This product, this was another one I thought would be done, but it's not. So something interesting happened. Hopefully I can show you. And I've been able to like extend the life of this product. I'm making a mess here. I was able to pull it out. It actually fell out. And now my fingers are a hot mess. It actually fell out. So there's that much product. There was a lot of product left in the little thing. And then when I stuck it back in, it sticks out and it's still usable. So I was able to get a little bit more, I think, out of this after I like turned it up. I've turned it up all the way. It doesn't turn anymore. But I was able to kind of like scooch out a little bit more product. So I'm still going with it. I might as well try and figure out I might as well use that now that I figured that out. So yeah, I thought this was going to be done, but it's not because I found more product. Yeah, now my fingers are a hot mess. Just one second. I will be right back. But let's talk about the weights on this guy first. So last month this was 6.1 grams. It's now 6 grams. That's a difference of 0.1 grams. All right, we're getting close to the end here. I have 2 more items and then 1 new item to introduce. So the Eyeshadow, I'm using a single eyeshadow in this project. I am working on the Real Her. This was from the palette, the Real Her Be Your Own Kind of Beauty palette. And this is, you're like, there's nothing there. Well, there is. I'll put the picture up. You can see there is ever so little left. So I talked about this in my last video that, you know, I thought, you know, if I can focus on this, I can finish it, but I'm not sure I really want to focus on it like that. We'll see how it goes. And as I was using this, I was flying through this. So I've been using it as like a brow bone highlight, inner corner highlight, and sometimes as a highlighter. And once I realized I was kind of flying through it, I'm like, well, I might as well just finish it. Yeah, I didn't finish it. I'm like, you stinker. I'm so close, but I can't call it because there's just enough left there that it's like, yeah, I still should, like, I can't call it just yet. Except for weight-wise, I'm sure next month when I weigh it. Like, even when I put it on the scale this time around, it was like, the scale was like, there's nothing there. Oh, wait, yes, there is something there. Like, it had a moment that it couldn't figure out that this was there. Even though this is, like, almost done, and it probably, by the time this gets posted, this will probably be done, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to introduce another single shadow or not. Since I'm really focusing on trying to hit pan in my Pan That palette, I don't know if I really want to have a competing single shadow, even though I still think, like, I have another shadow that's in, I have this, like, in a magnetic palette. I have another shadow in that's fairly close to done too. I shouldn't say fairly close. It would take me a couple months probably to finish it. But at the same time, I really want to hit pan on my Pan That palette. So, I don't know. My other thought is I am going to repress some of the stuff. Oh, I haven't talked about this. I'm going to repress a couple of shadows. And I might end up, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do yet. I like having something like this, though, like a light champagne, like a light color. Because there's nothing in the Too Faced palette that is this light. Except for the pink shade. So I want more like a light champagne or light, like a in the brown side of the family, like yellow, gold, rose, not pink. But at the same time, it's like I just kind of need to focus on the Too Faced palette as well. So I don't know. I will have that sorted out by the next video is what I'm trying to say in terms of what I will do. Again, don't know if I'll work on a single shadow or not, but this is where we're at. The other thing I was thinking of was using a shadow that's in an existing palette. I think that's what I'm trying to say, yeah. Like I will either just not add a new eyeshadow in, work on a single shadow, or work on a specific shadow within a palette. But again, I'm worried about competing with my Pan That palette now that I'm really trying to focus on hitting pan. So anyway, last month this was 1.2 grams. It is now 1 gram. So that's a difference of 0.2 grams. I'm also working on a lip liner in this project, which I know, hindsight, should have put the lip liner in the lip project, but whatever, we're here. I'm working on the Annabelle lip liner in Spice. This is moving. You'll see in the pictures, I've already taken pictures. You can see in the picture that this is further down than where it was. Still slow going, and I don't see it going any faster. This is just what we're doing. If I finish this, I finish it. If I don't, I don't. At the rate that I'm moving, I won't finish this. And that's fine. I like this. I think I can still buy this. I think this shade still exists. I haven't looked recently, but a couple of years ago I looked, and I'm pretty sure it still existed. It's a nice shade. Works for me. It is working a bit better now than it was in like springtime. It's more of like, to me, like a summer fall shade, so I think I'll get a bit more use out of it over the next few months. So last month this was 2.59 grams. It's now 2.51 grams, so that's a difference of 0.08 grams. And then I now need to replace the Clinique press powder that I finished. I do have a loose powder in, I don't know what project it is. It's the Hourglass powder. It's just a mini. And I contemplated, well, maybe I just focus on that and I don't add a pressed powder into this. But I like having both. I don't want to just have a loose powder. I want to work on a pressed powder as well. I have 4 pressed powders. 2 of them are new and pretty much full. And 2 of them have pan in them and have been in previous projects. I was trying to figure out which one of those that I was going to pick. And I picked this one. Even though the other one I haven't used for a lot longer, like there's a bigger gap, I want to use this one. I'm not even 100% sure the other one I'm going to keep. I don't really like the shade on me, and yeah, I've kind of kept it for now, but I'm not 100% sure I'm going to finish that one. But I liked this one. I had this in my project, I think it was last year. It's the Sephora Mineral Compact Foundation in the shade R15. I don't think this exists anymore, but I got a decent sized pan in this. Remind me, I need to take a photo of this. I have weighed it, so I have a starting weight. I just haven't taken a photo of it. starting like in this project. I mean, I probably could use whatever the last photo was because I haven't used this a whole lot since then. But yeah, this is the pressed powder that I'm working on. I don't think I'll finish this. I mean, I hope I do. When I brought this into my project last year, I thought I'd finish this that year. It did not happen, not even close. There's still quite a bit of product left in this, but who knows? I don't really know. It's supposed to be 10 grams, and yeah, I used 7.6 grams of the Clinique powder, and I feel like this has got to be less than 7 grams. So I feel like it's doable, like math-wise. Visually, it seems doable, but sometimes these things just don't go like you think they're gonna go. Like a couple other items that happened this time around. So yeah, so things are moving along. Not as exciting of an update as I'd hoped. I thought we were gonna have like 3 to 4 empties in this video, and that did not happen. But it's fine. Like I know that this project is bigger items that are gonna take longer, so it's just nice to have some things that are finished, keeps things fresh and moving along. But nevertheless, I feel like I still had a pretty good update. I feel like I'm looking at the numbers, and there was no product in this that was like, oh, I barely moved the needle on it. Like all of them, I feel like I had decent progress on for this past month. So I'm really happy about that. Anyway, I hope your project pans are going well. If you like this video, feel free to give it a little thumbs up down below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel here in Toronto, Canada. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you sometime soon. Bye.